Today I wanted to share with you this 6x6 memory book. I will be doing a step-by-step on how to make this, and when I come to do it on the step-by-step I will be using Life is a Bowl of Cherries. But I thought I'd just show you the finished album first, do the walkthrough, and then the instructions will follow. So I've used the Life is a Beach, or I can't remember exactly what it's called, The Beach is Calling. And I've used some of the ephemera and some of the frames on the outside. And then on this page, I've made a double opening with the Core Cats circle photo slots and some little pockets there and there. And if I get it the right way around, that just holds it in place. Then on this page, I've got a deeper pocket, like so, and also, again, a Core Cats tuck spot. This is the curved slot. This page I've just got a very simple little envelope with a little tag inside. And on this page, I've got a double pocket, but I've just sort of jazzed it up a little bit with some ephemera. So this page, if I open this, you can see we've got a little tuck pocket in there, and then another little tuck pocket there, and then one of my favourite dies, the little secret doors. And then I've just finished that off with a little ephemera slider. Doesn't do anything, but it just is there as a little extra decoration. Just do that back up again. And then on this page, again, I've got my little opening and my little pocket, and then it opens up again, and I've used my ephemera to make little tuck spots there, there and there. And with these, I think I did a little bit of fussy cutting so that they were nice and thick. And then again, if I get it the right way around, that just clicks into place there. I've got a little waterfall there that you can either just push or just pull. Either way, it's just fine. A little tuck pocket, a little tuck, another one of the curved tuck spots, and another deeper pocket here. This time going that way. Again, pockets, so little pockets, and I've used an ephemera, mounted it so that I've got another little top pocket there. I've got my double slider, and I've used some of the frames on the top, and then another double pocket, only this time this way, and another double pocket. And if you can see, I've actually put some other little bits of ephemera on that just to break it up a little bit and give it a bit more interest. So that's the album that we're going to be working on. But as I say, we're going to be using the Life is a Bowl of Cherries. So today we're going to focus on this page here. So we're going to make the little swivel, and we're going to make the double pockets. I'm going to show you the dies for making these. And we're going to make the little tuck pockets in there as well. So that's our focus for today. So let me move this out of the way. And the one I'm doing is Life is a Bowl of Cherries. So let me bring in some of the pieces that I'm going to use, and I can give you the measurements. So this is a 6x6 album, and I quite like making the 6x6 because I can cut 4 pieces of 6x6 paper out of the 12x12 sheets. So if I've only got 12x12 sheets left over, then I will normally make a 6x6 album. So the paper is 6x6, and the card is 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. Now I have got a book ready made, and I will demo how to make the actual book, but the pages in the book are 6.5 by 6.5. So each time it goes up a quarter. So 6.5, 6.25, 6. Okay, so we'll make the book at the end so that you can put the whole thing together. There are other instructions on other of my demonstrations that you can have a look at, but we will make it as well. So 6.5 by 6.5. Each of the pages 6.25 by 6.25, and the actual papers 6 by 6. Now what I normally do is I cut all my pieces of card first, because then I've got all my leftover bits, and then I can make my leftover bits suitable for what I want to use rather than having to cut into more card. So I already have enough of these pages cut, and I've cut a whole load of the decorative sheets at 6 by 6, and I've already gone round the outside of all of these with my ink pad, just so that I know I've done it. So I'm going to take my 6.25 by 6.25, and then I took 2 pieces of the paper the card that I cut off, and I cut them, and in fact these were the right size, I didn't have to cut them down. So they're 5.5 by 6.25. So it's easy to get the 6.25 because you've already cut most of your card at 6.25, and it's 5.5, but I have actually scored at 1/2 inch. So when it folds over, the size of the page is actually 6.25 by 5. And I always get into the habit, I don't know whether you can see, but I always write all my sizes there, and not just on that side, but on that side as well. When I first started doing it, I just wrote it on that side. And then, of course, I came to this side, everything was covered up. So I've got into the habit of writing everything on both sides. So this is 5 by 6.25. So that means I want my papers at 4.75 by 6. So I've cut, excuse me, I've cut 2 pieces of paper at 4.75 by 6. So they are going to go on the front. I haven't yet folded this. So 2 pieces of card at 5.5 by 6.25, scored at 1/2 inch, and then the more you burnish this, the flatter your page will end up being. It's well worth getting your Teflon tool, your multi-purpose tool, whatever you use, and really, this is a Corkat's multi-purpose tool, and it's a Teflon tool, so it doesn't mark at all. So the card I'm using is 290. It's actually slightly thicker than I would choose to use, but unfortunately my supplier has stopped doing 240. But now that I've got used to it, I'm quite happy with the 290. So lots of burnishing. So one's going to go one way and one's going to go the other. So I'm going to put this, please excuse me, I'm going to put this on here, like so, and that one's going to go on that side, like, get it the right way up, there's writing on it so I can see which way up. Now you may have seen on the Beach is Calling one that there are pockets here and that the edges are curved. So we're going to concentrate on the curving of the edges and putting the pocket in place. So I'm going to get my corner rounder. So mine has got 3 different sizes on. Whoops, let's pick that up because I need it. Okay, so I'm going to round on the largest one, which on mine is 10, and then making absolutely certain my picture is up the right way, I'm going to round that on the medium one, which on mine is 7. So I'm going to round this on the 10, and again making doubly sure, I'm going to round this on the 7. Okay, so just move those out the way, stuck in the glue, and then they end up all over the place. And then what I'm going to do, and I've got my instructions here, I'm going to cut 2 inches from the unrounded side. So I'm just going to get my trimmer right way up and I'm going to cut 2 inches from the unrounded side. I'm just going to double check that. Cut 2 inches, yes. So I'm going to cut 2 inches from there, and I will do the same on this piece. So I've got to turn this upside down because I want it from the unrounded side, and I'm going to cut 2 inches from there. Okay, I'm just going to move that out of the way. Then I've got a piece of card, again, just a cut off piece of card, and it's 6 1/4 by 2 1/4, so that I can put that on there and I will have a little border all the way around the outside. But that is going to go that way up before I forget. So that's going to go on like that, and that's going to go that way up like that. Before I do that, I'm just going to go round all my edges like this, and I'm using Distress ink, and because it's blue I've gone for chipped sapphire. So that's going on there. So I'm making this on blue card. I know it probably looks black on the screen, but it is actually blue. So this is a really quick and easy page to make, but looks quite effective. So that's going to go on there. So I'll just run some glue around there, like so. And that's going to go there. Get that bit of glue off. Okay. Just, and then I'm going to put this onto here. There it is. Lost the glue gun for a second there. Okay. Oops. More haste, less speed. That's going to go onto there. I'm going to just centre it up like so, and then this is the edge I don't want the glue, so I always put my thumb on the edge I don't want the glue, because then I know I'm not going to glue my thumb. So just a little tip you pick up as you go along, and then that is going to go onto there, making sure it's absolutely straight, and that's going to go onto there like so. So there's your front pocket done. So I'm going to do the same on the other one, remembering that I want the pocket to go the other way, so they're going to fold in onto each other. So I want my curved edge, and again I'm going to go round it with my and I'm going to go around this like so. It just gets rid of the white edges and just finishes it off, I think. So here's the other one. So this is going to go here, and I always double check by lying my things on to the place where they're going to go first. It's just a habit I've got into, because so often I cut things and they were incorrect, particularly to begin with when I first started. So getting into the habit of just making sure, oops, that you are absolutely measured up correctly. And then I've got another piece at 2 1/4 by 6 1/4, and I'm going to put that onto there in exactly the same way. So I'm going to pop that on to there. And one of the reasons I love Graphic 45 is you've got this double-sided option, so you can really play with contrasts. So that's going to go onto there like that, and then just as before, that's the bit I don't want the glue. It matters less on a pattern that's the same both ways up, but it's just a useful habit to get into. And then that's going to go down like so. Okay. Now I'm going to decorate the other side. And for that, I've used two pieces exactly the same. The measurements are exactly the same. They're 4 3/4 by 6. But you may be able to see there are some little slots in them. That's because I've used the Cool Cats photo slots die. So I don't get it to fit exactly. All I've done is I've run that through and it's just cut me 4 slots. And then there's a second die that comes with this set that cuts the circle. So always put the circle in place before you put the glue, because then you can see where not to put the glue. So you can see the white circle where it's come through, and you know you mustn't put any glue on there, otherwise you can't get that out and a photo in. If I'm selling these, I like to have this this piece in, because it means that people can take it out and either put the photograph on the top or use it as a template to cut the photo to the right size. So let me just go around here. I'm afraid I'm a little bit husky at the moment. I'm struggling with one of these lovely summer colds. Okay, and then that's going to go in there, and I've forgotten to corner it. Okay, see, always something to do. I've put the corner somewhere, so I'll just go in, corner that, and corner that. And the other thing I've forgotten to do is just go round with this. More haste, less speed, I think. Okay, actually that edge is done because I'd already done that edge. Right, okay, so we're going to pop that on to there. It's still tacky, so it's fine. Just give it an extra bit of a burnish. And you can see how that underside is now done. So I'm going to do the same on this one, but I'm going to remember this time to cut the corners off first. So I'm just going to corner it. I'm going to go round with my ink, like so, all the way round. Pop my circle in so that I don't put the glue on the wrong pieces. And then I'm going to go round on this back edge with my glue gun all the way round in there, just round these, giving them a nice wide berth. Okay, and then that's going to go on to there. Now you can put the pages on first and decorate them after. I find it's easier, as long as you haven't got magnets and things, just to do the pages first. So I'm now going to pop the pages onto here. Before I do that, I'm just going to take a little edge off those glue flaps that I scored and burnished earlier. So I'm just taking a little edge off that. So this one's going to go on this side. No, it isn't, making sure the pictures are up the right way, the writing's up the right way. This one goes on this side. So, so glue on this outer tab. all the way along. And then that's going to go on the edge of my base page there. So this base page is 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. So I just want to make sure it's absolutely straight, which it is. Burnish it like this first, and then open and burnish it down. Really burnish it down. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to take a little bit of glue again, all the way down here. And then we're going to pop that onto this edge. I'm using my fingers to make sure it's lined up exactly. When I'm happy it's straight, I'm going to give it a good burnish, open it up and burnish inside. Okay, so now I've got my piece of paper that I'm going to use. I'm just trying to, yes, it is that way up, that I'm going to use on the inside. And again, I've used the die to cut my 4 slots out. And I've got one more of my circles, which I am going to just pop into there. Now, you don't have to do this. You can just cut the slots and just leave them as invisible slots. If you've got really nice paper, you might not want to put that in. You can place photo here. Quite often what I do, if I've got little stickers, I might put little stickers on. I haven't got any more stickers for this particular set, I don't think. I think this is one of last year's sets, but I just love this paper. What I tend to do, if I've got paper I really love, I make up some albums at the time, and then I pop it away to get it out again later. Otherwise you just seem to make a lot of albums with the same papers, and it's quite nice to sort of come back to papers, and nearly always got 12 by 12s left over. Less so the 8 by 8s. I tend to make more 8 by 8s when they first come out. Okay, so that is that. So now all we've got to do is put on the little tag that's going to hold it in place. So I'm going to make the actual tag. Now I've used Corkat dies for this. So I've used a little circle die. I've used a little journaling die, and the difference is that's got a hole in the middle. And I've used what they call a swivel die. So I've used those 3 dies. I've also made my own brad, and for that I've used this die and this die. Now you don't have to make your own brads, you can buy the little split pins. I like to make my own. They are fiddly, but they are worth it because they're cardboard and they won't then, they're made of card and they won't mark any photos that join onto the next page because they are just card, so they will be quite flat. But if you haven't got those dies, it doesn't matter. You can use, as I say, you can use any split pin. So I've cut my swivel die twice, once in blue card and once in my patterned paper. So I'm going to glue those 2 together. Now the swivel die, it comes with a separate die that goes on the top there, but I actually like it completely covered, but that's just a personal preference. Okay, so but I like it, but you can just get one that goes in there like that. And then I've got the journaling die with the hole in the middle, and again I've cut it in blue card and blue paper, and again you can have different sizes, so you can have the blue card and then a smaller blue paper, but again I like the 2 together like that. And then finally you've got your two bigger circles. And again, I've cut them the same size. So I'm just going to stick those together as well. Okay. Like so. So I've already made my split pin up. There are lots of videos showing how to do it. It's really difficult to show on camera without having a really good quality camera, and I haven't got that. So, but there are lots and lots of videos on how to make these, especially on the core cats. So I'm going to feed my split pin through that hole. No, I'm not. Come on, Sarah, wake up. First of all, I'm going to feed it through my swivel. So it goes through the swivel first, then it goes through the hole, like so. Okay, and then I'm going to open the legs at the back. Now, the little circle I've used is smaller than the legs, so you do have to just trim the legs off a bit, like so, like so. And then put a little bit of glue underneath the legs to glue the legs down. Okay, so we're just going to glue the legs in place and hold them down for a second. Just going to wipe my fingers because I've got glue all over them. And then this is going to stick onto that. You don't need this one. You could stick it directly onto the page, but I like that double layer. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of this, like so, and then that's going to go onto this circle. And that has made my swivel mechanism. Whoops, just knock that slightly off from the circle. Okay, let's push that down. So now I want to put this on the centre. So I'm going to use my centering tools. This is 6 1/4. So I'm going to get my 6 1/4 tool. There we go. Oh, that's not what I wanted to have, but never mind. And I'm going to just work out where my circle has to go. So I want my circle to go roughly there, so that's lovely. So I've got the right place. I'm just going to put a little mark where the centre notch is. And then some glue on the back of this, like so. And then that will go on there. Hold it for a second. Whoop, I just need to move it back a bit. You need to just check it's not on the pocket. So then you can slide it round again and you can see how that's going to hold that in place. And you can open it and pop that back into place. And because you've got that extra layer, it tends to hold better in place there. So having just made a complete mess of those, just move those out of the way. They've come off the ring. Bit of a disaster, but I'll sort them all out. So that is now ready to go into our book, and it's going to go on this first page here. So I'm going to pop some glue on the back, all the way round, like so, and then that's going to go onto there. I'm going to give it a bit of a stick down, and then I'm going to open it up so that I can get to this page and then go all the way around so that I know it's well and truly stuck down. Close it up, and there's your first page complete. So now we're going to focus on the second page, And the second page has a nice little photo slot there, and I've put a couple of little things in there, and then it's got a larger photo slot or pocket there. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So let me move that out the way. So the first thing we start with again is our 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. So this is our page base. And you start with a piece of paper that is 6 by 6. So as I said, I cut those all out before I even start thinking about my book. So this is 6 by 6. And what I've done is I've cut this piece at 5 1/4. So I've left a little tiny top piece, and then I've got a piece at 5 1/4 that way by 6, and then I've got my little piece at the top here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my slot in here, and so this is a Cool Cats die. Now I have already cut it, so I'm just going to peel off my paper very carefully. Now with these, you have a choice. You can either keep the inside or not. I keep them. So I'm going to take that off carefully, and I can see, whether you can see, that the piece that's cut out is still in there. So I'm just going to pop that to one side. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this little piece that's left over onto the top here. So this little piece will come out at 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to make sure I go round all 4 sides. So I've already got 3 sides done because this was one of my 6 by 6 that was already done. And I didn't really need to do that side because it's not going to show, but you know, it's just good to get into the habit of doing that. So I'm just going to glue around here. And I'm going to stick this piece down to the top, leaving a little border all the way around the edges. A little bit of glue coming out there, and then just pop that to one side. So now I've got my piece that is 6 by 5 1/4, and I've got a piece of card which is 5 1/2 by 6 1/4. So it's exactly the same width as my base, but it's 5 1/2 inches deep, and this is going to fit neatly onto the top there. Now, I need to remember this is going to be a pocket. So when I come to glue it down, I'm going to put a line of glue there, and then just go right up to the edge. I can go there and there. So I'm leaving the whole of this bit without glue. I'm going to go round this top edge, because I want that to be stuck quite firmly. And then I'm going to go round the edges and across the middle like that, and then stick that on to there with a border all the way around the outside like that. I'm now going to take this piece from out inside the die, and I'm going to put it back into there. So I'm going to use my fine nib, and I'm going to just put some glue on here. So if you've got a fine nib, use it. If not, a good way of doing it if you're not allergic to the glue is to put it on the back of your hand and then dab it on, but I find this way less messy. So I'm just going to go around the inside of this. So I'm doing this on the reverse. And then I'm just going to place it back into this gap. So I'm just laying it in first, because what I want to do is get my Teflon tool and just put the little pointy bit underneath so that I know it's not sticking onto this bottom piece, and I'm keeping my pocket. So I'm going underneath like that, and then when I'm happy I will go in with this side and just really give that a good burnish. So now, please excuse me, it looks like it's an invisible slot, but you don't need to do that. You can leave that as it is, but I just prefer to do that to it. Okay, so now this is going to go onto the top of there. Again, thumb on the bit that I don't want to glue. So this is going to be a big pocket. So I'm going to go all the way around the edge, like so. And I'm going to put my pocket down onto there. The pattern should match because it's been cut from the same piece. So I'm going to do that and that and that. And then I'm going to make the piece that goes inside. So I've got a piece of card that is 5 1/4 that way. So that gives you 1/2 inch either side, and then 6 that way. And then, please excuse me, I like to do this with just some cream card. So my cream card is 5 by 4 1/2, and I'm just going to stick that onto there like that. So that's just going to go onto there. And then I've just covered up the measurements of the other piece. So again, it's going to be 5 1/2 by about 1 1/4 inches. And that's going to go on the top. And I've picked up the pattern from the first page. So A, it's using up my scraps, and B, it's adding some continuity. I'm going to go around the edges of this. Now what I could do, if I wanted to continue the curved theme, I didn't do it on the original one, but we can do it on this one. I could actually curve that and that, and then curve that with the next size down. Run just a little bit on there on the curve. And that just, again, matches it in with the other piece. So I'm going to pop some glue on this. Like that. Pop that on. Like that. Now, on the Beaches one, I had some transfers, so I put a little transfer there. I haven't got the transfers for this one. I don't even know whether it came with transfers, but I certainly haven't got them. So, this now is going to go inside here. And I've made it too big. Okay, so if that's the case, we need to just cut it down a bit. Don't know why I've made it so big. Oh, it's just that it hasn't gone down the bottom. Okay, no, it's not going to go any further down than that. Yes, it is. It's just got stuck. Okay, right, so I'm just going to take that right down to the bottom. It's got stuck on something. There you go, it does go in there. So it goes in there like that, it just got stuck on something. And I'm just going to stick this page onto here. Like that. And then that's going to go onto there. Lift your page, otherwise it quite easily gets stuck on the next page. So always lift your page and put your fingers underneath so that you know it's on the right page. And then I'm just going to go around like this. Okay, so you may have noticed on the beach one that I've got, oops, some little strips, let me show you, some little strips in between. And for those, I'm going to use one of my 6x6 pieces. Actually, I'm wondering if I can get it out of that. I might just be able to get it out of that. Let's see. And you want this to be about, this is always very difficult to be precise. So it's going to be, because these are all 1/2 inch, so you want it to be about 3/8 of an inch, which is really difficult to cut. Let me get the other colour, it's easier on this. So 3/8 of an inch. So 1, 2, 3/8, and I'm just going to hold this down with a little bit of sticky tape. So 3/8, and then I might just get the other two out of this as well. 1, 2, 3/8. So 3/8, 3/8. I think that's slightly bigger than 3/8. Let's just check that again. 1, 2, 3. It is. It's just slightly bigger. So again, stick it down. Yeah, that's better. So those three are all 3/8. So I can either do a continuing pattern, if I can find how the continuing pattern works, or I could stop fiddling and do 3 with that, which I think is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have this one, whoops, that one there, and then the next one, next one, line it up so it's level there, and then the last one, which I'm just going to line up there, and then that is complete. So now we're going to work on page 3, which is a very simple little tag and envelope page. So, move that out the way. I've got my 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 and my 6 by 6, which I'm just going to glue on there. I've already gone round all the edges because that's got very messed up there. Oh my gosh, right. So I'm just going to go around the outsides of that and glue that into place there. So that's all nice and neatly done. Now, for my envelope, I have used a Corkats die. You can also use We Are Memory Keepers. They do a folio, a thing to cut a folio, or there are lots and lots of dies out there that will cut folios. I just happen to have used this one because it was just the size that I wanted. So this is a Cool Cats die, and I'm just going to fold in this edge here. Now you can use this in a number of ways, and the little folio hole, circle hole dies are really good for this, but I'm not going to do it that way this time. I've got glue all over my fingers, I'm sorry. And then I'm going to come in this side and fold that. And then I'm going to fold in this bottom edge. Now you have to ease it over. It doesn't necessarily fold on the fold, particularly when you've got thick card like I've got here. So you just have to ease it. There is a score line, there is a fold, but it doesn't actually, with the thickness of the card, it doesn't fit exactly. So I'm just going to pop a bit of glue onto that and just push that down and into place. I'm just going to hold it in place. Now, I've actually done it the wrong way round. Oh, I haven't done it at all because I've glued that down without gluing that down. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue in there. It really isn't going to matter too much because this is the side I'm going to cover. But if it wasn't the side I was going to cover, then it would be a bit of a nuisance. So as long as I've got a little bit of glue in there just to hold that in place, that's fine. Now the die set also includes your decorating dies. So, as I say, it doesn't matter on this one that I haven't glued that properly. I would normally glue that properly before I glued the top bit over, the bottom bit rather, but I just got myself into a bit of a pickle there. So I'm going to use this rather nice paper. So I've cut myself a piece for there. So I haven't got to have measurements for this because this is all included in the die. So that's going to go onto there. And then I've got a little piece for the top. Now, there is a fold on the top, so you can fold it over and you can, but for what I want it for, which is just a little pocket, I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to pop that onto there, like so. So this little die is really useful and you can do a number of things with it. But in this particular instance, I really do just want to make a slightly different pocket. Now I can put it straight or I can put it slightly jaunty. I'm going for slightly jaunty. I'm going to stuck that on straight. So I'm going to put glue, and I'm only going to put glue on the rectangle. I'm not going to put it on the flap. So if someone did decide they wanted to fold the flap down, they could. So that's just going to go on there like that. So this is a really nice, quick and easy page. I've got a couple of tag dies. So this one matte and layers nicely. These happen to be Cool Cats dies, but there are lots and lots of different. Now I can use it that side, but I'm actually going to use the reverse side so that it just contrasts nicely. So these matte and layer very nicely. But there are lots and lots of different tag dies you can use, whatever you've got, or create your own. So I'm just going to pop that onto there. And then I'm going to put a little hole in the top using my crocodile. And then I've got a little piece of ribbon, which I'm going to fold in half and force through that hole. I might have done better using the bigger hole. But hey, let's see, there we go, we can do it. We can do it. And then just feed that through like so. And as always, too much ribbon. And then that's going to pop in there that is that page complete. So we can now put that page into our book. Nice, easy page to do. And I'm just going to glue it in. So a really nice, quick and easy page to do. Just centre that up. And just go around, stick that down. So we've now got 3 pages of our book complete.